Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss O-Level 2022 past paper question number 7 part 3, which is the financial statements with adjustment question. So when you are attempting this question, I always recommend the students to start with the requirement. Just go through the requirement first, just to ensure whether they are asking the income statement and balance sheet, if not statement of profit or loss and the statement of financial position. So here they are asking the same requirement in all other years. Prepare the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2022 and statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022. So if you have not tried this question yet, what you have to do is simply pause the video, take like 10 minutes and quickly attempt the question. Then come back to the video and check the answers that you have written is correct or not. Okay. So let's get into the question. Here first what I am going to do, I am going to do the pencil adjustments in the trial balance. So what is this pencil adjustments? Whatever the additional information that they have given except for the stock, I am going to do the adjustments in the trial balance itself. So once I am done with all the adjustments in the trial balance, then only I will go and prepare the income statement and the balance sheet. So that is a method where I normally teach for students. If you have got used to any other method, you can do the question as you want. It is not a must for you to do the question as how I am doing. So you can use whatever the method that you have got familiar with. So here let's go through the depreciation adjustment, stock adjustment. Let's keep it as it is. Machine should be depreciated by 10% annually on straight line basis. So how much machines are there? Machines are there 200,000. So here I'll write 200,000, 200,000, 10%. We are not required to calculate this one also. 20,000 is the depreciation per annum. So 10% means simply from the value that you have cut 1 zero. So 200,000 10%. If you are cutting 1 zero, it is 20,000. So easy ways of getting the answer. 20,000 is the depreciation per annum. So what is the double entry for depreciation? Depreciation expense debit, accumulated depreciation credit. Now you go and check in your trial balance whether you have these two accounts. One is depreciation, the machine depreciation, and other one is accumulated depreciation. Let's check. In trial balance, we don't have both the accounts. Machine depreciation also not there, accumulated depreciation also not there. So now I am going to write down somewhere whatever the additional lines which is coming to the trial balance. Okay. So I'll just write it over here maybe. Depreciation, machine depreciation. So here I have my debit side, here I have my credit side, and accumulated depreciation. The value is how much? 20,000. Here I'll write 20,000 and here I'll write 20,000. So for the trial balance, I added two lines. Okay. So it is the extension of the same trial balance I am doing. So this is done. Now let's move to the next one. Electricity charges to be paid, that means not yet paid, is 31st as at 31st January is rupees 2,000. Okay. Electricity not yet paid. So understand the double entry. If you have not paid the electricity yet, the double entry will be, I'll write the double entry over here. The double entry will be debit the electricity expense 2,000, credit electricity payable, because not yet paid, no, payable 2,000. Simple as that. Now you go and check whether these two items are available in your trial balance. Go and check. Let's see. Do you have electricity? Do you have the electricity? Let's see one by electricity charges. They have given 12,000. So debit. Here see. Electricity expense debit 2,000. Then here I'll go and add a 2000. So here I am doing the pencil adjustments. Huh? So you can do these things from the pencil. And next record we have to record it. Next one. Electricity payable 2000. Electricity payable. Do you have an account for electricity payable? No. We don't have one. So I'll go and add it. I'll go and add it for the items which I included to the trial balance. Electricity payable 2000. So for each entry there is a debit one and credit one. Here depreciation debit, credit. Here 2000 for the debit and 2000 for the credit. Okay, we are done with that one as well. And when you are doing the financial statement question, apart from these two adjustments, there can be another one more adjustment inside the trial balance itself. Inside the trial balance itself, you can have an adjustment, which is the bank loan. Here what they are telling, this is a 8% bank loan. That means for the loan that you have taken, for the bank every year, you have to pay an interest of 8%. So let me come to this one. Then 100,000 is the bank loan. For that 8%. Then how much is the interest amount? Bank loan, interest expense. How much is that? 8,000. So what is the double entry? Debit bank loan interest expense 8,000, and they have not given any details regarding the payment of the bank loan interest. So credit will be what? Credit bank loan interest payable, which is a liability, not yet paid. No, not yet paid, which is 8,000. So now we'll go and see whether do we have these two things in our trial balance. Bank loan interest expense. Bank charges, they have given 2,200. That is the bank charges. Let's see whether we have the interest expense. Paid overdraft interest, they have given. Advertisement, machine, capital, bank charges, no. So interest expense also not given. So let's go and add that one also for the trial balance. Bank loan interest, debit 8,000, bank loan interest payable. So this is expense. This is a current liability, interest not yet paid, a current liability, which is 8,000. Now you see, apart from the items which were included in the trial balance, apart from these things, we added another 5 lines to the trial balance. Now your calculation is very simple. Once you are done with this, simply you can put down the format and you can finish off the income statement and the balance sheet. So let's quickly prepare. Whose business is this? Sonali's business. So you can write Sonali's business statement of profit or loss. They are asking us to prepare the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2022. For the year ended 31st December 2022. So income statement, we have to start with the sales. So let's go to the trial balance. Sales, how much we have? 538,000. So now let me go through the trial balance one by one, and we'll write all the things in our income statement and in the balance sheet. We have the purchases. So from the sales, you have to deduct the cost of sales. Cost of sales. Cost of sales, opening inventory plus purchases. How much is the purchases that they have given? 360,000. Purchases 360,000. And they have given the opening inventory also. Here stock, opening stock 80,000. Date 1st January 2022. That means the opening stock 80,000. So let me check whether there are any purchase returns. And we have carriage inwards 18,000. Carriage inwards 18,000. So we are done with that one as well. So I can take the, yes, I can take the cost of the items which is available to sell. So let me take that. Cost of items available to sell. How much is the value? 440,000, 458,000. 458,000. Then from this we have to deduct the closing inventory. How much is the closing stock here? 31st December 2022, 48,000. Closing inventory 48,000. So here let me take the cost of sales, cost of sold items, cost of sales. How much is that? 410,000. 410,000. And here we are getting the gross profits 128,000. Gross profits 128,000. So we are done with that part. Next we have to take the distribution expenses. So for the distribution expense, what are the things that you have to take? Whatever the expenses connected with the distribution purpose and selling purpose. Distribution expenses. So I would like to write the category of each and every item which is there in the trial balance. So we are done with this one. Furnitures and equipment, it is a non-current asset. Stock we took. Bank loan, it is a non-current liability. Electricity charges, it is admin expense. Carriage inwards we took. This is distribution expense. Building rent is an admin expense. Bank charges is an financial expense. Debtors current asset. Creditors current liability. Cash current asset. Bank overdraft current liability. Interest is finance expense. This is overdraft interest. Advertising, it is distribution expense. This is non-current asset. This is equity. And we are not done with the trial balance. We added certain things to the trial balance. So depreciation, this is machine depreciation. Only delivery vehicle depreciation will come to the distribution expense. Other machine depreciation, furniture depreciation, everything will come to the admin expense. This is admin expense. So this is reduction in the non-current liability, non-current asset. This is reduction in the non-current asset. Electricity payable, current liability. Bank loan interest expense, it is finance expense. And bank loan interest payable, it is current liability. So we have to take the distribution expenses. What are the distribution expenses that we have in this question? This is one distribution expense 6,000. Distribution expense 6,000. And advertising expense 6,300. Advertising expense 6,300. I think that's it. Yes. So here we are getting a value of 12,300. 12,300. Then I'll take the admin expenses. Admin expenses. So what are the admin expenses that we have? Electricity 14,000. The benefit of doing the pencil adjustments, you won't forget anything. Electricity 14,000. Expense 14,000. Done. Then built-in rent 20,000. Built-in rent 20,000. Then we have what else? Admin expenses. Built-in rent, nothing is here. Let's see. Here we have the machine depreciation 20,000. Machine depreciation 20,000. That's it. So now we have to go to the finance expenses. Finance expenses. So here we are getting a value of 40,000, 54,000. So finance expenses, let's see. Finance expense here, bank charges 2,200. Bank charges 2,200. What else is there? Overdraft interest 500. OD interest 500. And here we have bank loan interest 8,000. bank loan interest 8,000. So what is the total amount that we are getting? 10,000, 10,200, 10,700. Then what is the total expenses that we are getting? Total expenses 12,300, 10,700, 13,000, 23,000, 23,000 plus 54,000 is 77,000. Total expenses 77,000. Then how much is the net profit that we are getting? 128,000 minus 77,000. Here it is 151,000. This is the net profits. Net profits for the period. Net profits for the period 51,000. Now let's prepare the balance sheet, if not statement of financial position. Whose business is this? Sonali's business. Sonali's business. Statement of financial position. They are asking us to prepare as at 31st December 2022. As at 31st December 2022. So here you have the cost, accumulated depreciation, and net book value, if not the net carrying value. We have to start with the non-current assets. Non-current assets. So what are the non-current assets that we have? Furnitures and equipments. Furniture and equipment. How much is that? 180,000. Done. Then what are the machines? We have machines. Machines cost is 200,000. 200,000. And we have another one, this one, accumulated depreciation, reduction of the non-current assets, 20,000. So here it is 180,000. And I think, yes, we are done with all the non-current assets. So here no accumulated depreciation, they have not given any information. 180,000. So here it is 360,000. Then we have to take the current assets. What are the current assets that we have? Debtors 70,000, and stock. When you write the stock, always write down like this. Stock, you will have to write it in two places. One is statement of profit or loss under the cost of sales, and in your balance sheet, statement of financial position under the current assets. So always make sure to put this arrow and do the adjustment for both. Don't forget. So we did this one. Here I'll show. For the cost of sales, already we included closing inventory 48,000. Likewise, in the balance sheet also you must include. Don't forget. So how much is the value? 48,000. Closing stock. Closing stock 48,000. And we have debtors 70,000. 70,000. And we have cash. Let's see what else other current assets that we have. Yes, only cash is there, 45,000. Cash 45,000. So I think we are done with all the current assets also. Yes, so we are left out with this, and this. Good. So we are done with all those things. Then here let's take the total current assets. How much is that? 190,000, 160,000, 163,000. 163,000. 3, 1 is balance, 5, 12, 16. Then here how much is the total assets that we are getting? 523,000. 3, 12, 1 is balance, 4. Yes, this is your total assets. Total assets. Now let's move to the equity and liabilities. So first we'll take the equity. Under the equity, you have the opening capital plus additional capital plus profit for the period minus drawings. So in this question, how much is the, they are not required to tell it is opening capital. It is the opening capital, which is 300,000. 300,000. No additional capital they have given in the question. Profit for the period we calculated. How much is that? 51,000. Profit for the period is 51,000 and no drawings. So we have a total equity of 351,000. 351,000. Good. So here we are left out with 2 current liabilities. Then let's come to the non-current liability. Non-current liability. We have the bank loan. Bank loan is there. How much is the bank loan? 100,000. Bank loan 100,000. I'll directly write it here. Then we have the current liabilities. Current liabilities. Creditors. How much is the creditors? 50,000. Then we have bank overdraft 12,000. Creditors 50,000. Bank OD 12,000. So I think we are done with all the items. Done. Everything done here. And items we added: electricity payable 2,000, bank loan interest payable 8,000. So here also everything done. Electricity payable 2,000, bank loan interest payable, 8,000. So here what's the value that we are getting? Total current liabilities 10,000, 60,000, 72,000. Then here we'll take the total 0, 0, 0. Here 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 12, 4, 5. 523,000. So here also 523,000. Then what is this? Total equity and liability. So now you can put down the marks. Okay. We'll start with the income statement. So for this one you can take a half a mark, half, and here half a mark, and here for the cost of sales half a mark, for the gross profit half a mark, and for the electricity half a mark, and for the machine depreciation half a mark. Then for the bank loan interest half a mark. So how many marks we have allocated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For the net profits half a mark. So in total 4 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. In total 4 marks for the income statement. Now let's move to the balance sheet. In balance sheet, here half a mark, and for this one half a mark for the accumulated depreciation, taking it as a reduction of the non-current assets, that is half a mark. Then here electricity payable half a mark, bank loan interest payable half a mark. Here for the stocks half a mark. For the total non-current assets half a mark. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for this one take a half a mark. Format, for this format, cost, accumulated depreciation, net book value or net carrying value, for that take half a mark. So for the balance sheet also, if not for the statement of financial position also, you are having another 4 marks. So in total 8 marks. So this is how you have to do a financial statement question with the adjustments. Again, I am reminding, when you are doing the adjustments, first do the adjustments in the trial balance itself and find out whatever the additional things which is coming to the trial balance. Here we have 5 additional things which came to the trial balance, and apart from the adjustments that they have given. If you have a bank loan, normally you will have an adjustment there also.